Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to show you how Syncer can act as a brain for Ansible, deliver information to platforms like AAP, Semaphore, or your local Ansible setup. I'm still with the same setup from the yesterday's video, where I've shown the Cmdb functions. What I'm going to do now is to select some variables I want to use to expose them as Ansible inventory. Let's go with application, for example. Let's say we want to install the Nginx web server if the server's application has the attribute Nginx. So for that, I go to the modules, Ansible attributes. I create a new one. I name it install web server. Set it to enable. Any condition I set here can match now. And as condition, say by attribute location, application with Nginx. I want to set the new variable called install Nginx to true. So far, so simple. As next, let's set the Ansible user. I'm going to use this one here, SSH user. So I basically say modules, Ansible attributes, create, install user, enable, any condition can match, attribute, then SSH user, and here we just say match always. So basically if this attribute exists. Then we want to set Ansible user. And we want to use the value of SSH user. Therefore, we can use Junior here. So let's save it again. So then let's do a test. What do we have? For this, I need to change to the command line. We have some debugging information functions here already for CheckMK Netbox. Not yet for Ansible, but this will come soon. Let's go with the system. I go to my Syncer, open the shell, and there I have Cmdbsyncer, Ansible, debug host, and I just paste the host name. I see the server gets install Nginx and Ansible user Ansible. Then we test another system, like this one with application Postgres. Let's copy again. Now we see we just get the Ansible user. Next thing we can do, we can of course filter. Let's say we just want to install the Nginx servers, so we only want to have the systems with application Nginx again. Modules, Ansible filter, create, enabled, again. We say this time all conditions must match. By attribute again, application Nginx, and we want to have the Nginx and not the ones who are not Nginx, so we negate that and set as outcome just ignore. Save that again, and if we use the test here, see this the server now is ignored, while the first server still is part of the response. Let's take a look how that looks in the Ansible inventory. What I've done before is to install the inventory plugin of the Syncer. Then I added an inventory YAML file here, which just specifies the user, the port, and the server. This is basically set up in profile user. There we have this test for test API, and this has full rights for the API. Of course, I can say only Ansible rights here. I save it, and then we can try Ansible, come on, inventory. After we load the environment, of course. And there we have the response. Now let's make the setup much more flexible with information from CheckMK. First, I will sync the objects to CheckMK, then we will inventorize the agent status. I don't gonna go too deep into the CheckMK part. I'm just gonna create a simple folder structure using the location and the application. Therefore, modules CheckMK set folder and attributes of host. We create a rule like before. Need to enable it, match without any condition, add an outcome, move to folder as default. As well, here is Genius support. I go to demo, location, and application. This just I have to activate. In accounts, I already set a CheckMK account with URL and credentials. In the command line, I go to the Syncers shell, Cmdbsyncer, CheckMK, where I see the endpoints. There we have export hosts, and under CMK, now the process starts and sends the systems to CheckMK. If we check CheckMK in the meantime, we just have the demo folder. The subfolders are already created. And after a moment, last bulk request here, we have all the systems in CheckMK. I'm gonna activate that. Because the next part is we want to have some informations. We want to have the agent status here. Inside the syncer, again, modules, CheckMK, inventorize settings. There we can set what we want to inventorize. That's not only hard and software inventory. We can also go by service names, the CheckMK and the CheckMK agent service. Then I do the inventory. Now he checks out this information directly from CheckMK and adds it as inventory here to the host objects. And what you can see here are, for example, the output of the CheckMK service. It says host configuration requires a data source but not configured. Okay, it's not really real life example here, but just use this for the sake to understand how it functions. I just gonna use this name in Ansible attributes, new tab this time. I create a new options, for example, install CheckMK agent. All conditions must match. And as conditions, I say when I have this attribute contains, let's use this here, this error message. I hope you get the idea here. Contains. Then we set cmk install agent to true. So let's figure that every hour, for example, this inventory will run in the background. The syncer will always know which agents are installed and which are not. But first we need to remove the filter, of course, because the filter is currently still filtering for application Nginx. And then let's check out the inventory. And now we have the CheckMK install agent for all failed systems here as well. Thanks for watching. I hope this gave you some ideas how to use the syncer as helper in your Ansible automation. I put links in the description if you want to take a deeper look. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and see you in the next one.